Hi, my name is Victor Schwartz. As a former law school dean and torts professor, I'm asked to participate in a lot of different projects about the law. And I'm glad to do it, even if I strongly disagree with points of view expressed in the projects. The practice of law is all about different perspectives and different points of view. But it's also a profession rooted in a search for the truth and reliance on facts and law, not subjective opinions to reach foregone conclusions. Enter the movie Hot Coffee. I was asked to sit for almost 2 hours for an interview for this film. I agreed to do so. I was assured that my clips from the interview would be placed in total context. Something funny happened to the truth on Hot Coffee's way from filming to the theater. I asked 3 distinguished practitioners of the law, all prominent in their fields, to watch Hot Coffee and share their insights. Joining us today are Judge John Gray, retired from the bench after 20 years of service and now a practicing defense attorney in Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome, John. Sheila Scheuerman, torts professor at the Charleston School of Law and co-author of Torts Professor blog, and also a former practitioner, and Professor Paul Figley of the Washington College of Law of American University in Washington, D.C., who also spent more than 3 decades in the torts branch of the United States Department of Justice's Civil Division. Welcome, Professor Figley. Let's get into it. You've all watched the Hot Coffee movie. Forget production values and Hollywood technicalities. How does the film do in terms of objectivity, fairness, accuracy, and a correct interpretation of the law? What should law students, or anybody else for that matter, expect from the movie? Let's take a look.
In Albuquerque, an 81-year-old woman has been awarded $2.9 million.
I was burned so severely that they didn't think I would live.
Hey, you can show me the
Mississippi. It's a good payoff. You put money in a judicial race, it can have literally $1 million impact.
You just want to change what happened.
4 years to fight to get in court is not a day in court.
Okay, panelists. Let's start with just the overall impression you had of the movie. Professor Figley.
I saw it as propaganda. Well done propaganda, but propaganda.
What do you mean by propaganda?
It's directed to one particular audience intending to change their view on an important issue and using the tools that propagandists use. It makes generality attacks. It kind of plays on emotions. It develops people who are not held in high regard by the audience as the people who are supporting a particular viewpoint, and bringing in other people from another side to say this is what the truth should be.
When I first saw Hot Coffee, it reminded me of one of the early lessons I received as I became a judge, and that is people have to hear both sides of the story. The old judge that was one of my mentors told me that even a thin flapjack's got 2 sides. It omits principles such as a duty to act reasonably, a breach of that duty, that there's causation and damages that result. Now, that's a very lawyerly way of saying all that. We want to hear shorthand versions of what happened in a case and why someone got paid. And so if I were talking about this case to a jury, what I would remind them is that you should not make up your mind about the case until you've heard all the evidence. There's another side to this, and it's important from my perspective, having tried numerous civil and criminal jury trials over a 20-year period, to insist that both sides have an opportunity, or all sides have an opportunity, to tell the story.
Professor Scheuerman?
I have to agree. I mean, the movie's very well done. The stories are gripping, and it sucks you in, and it becomes compelling and emotional. No one disputes that the people who are featured in the movie are badly injured, but that's not the question. The question is who's responsible, and should the tort system impose responsibility?
I want to pick up on what you said about perspective and point of view. And from my perspective and my point of view, it was a very good plaintiff's case. My experience tells me that there's another side that needs to be told. And this movie didn't tell that other side.
Thanks, panel. There's much more ahead in segment 2, hotcoffeetruth.com. Stick with us.